Welcome to the Informed Fitness Podcast, 20 minutes with New York Times bestselling author Adam Zickerman.
In this podcast, we're going to discuss my original vision for how we started Informed Fitness and where I want Informed Fitness to go and where we think exercise should go in the future. It's nice to see that my original intuition over 20 years ago has been validated by some recent science. So we're going to bring on some scientists in this industry, some great testimonials from clients that have experienced this. I'm going to be bringing in musicians and very interesting people, bodybuilders talking about how little they actually work out. It's going to shed some light on some very important topics.
All right, welcome back, Informed Nation. Thanks again for joining us here on the Informed Fitness Podcast, 20 minutes with Adam Zickerman and friends. I'm Tim Edwards with the Inbound Podcasting Network, joined, as always, by Sheila Melody with the Informed Fitness Toluca Lake location here in Southern California with me. And across the country, we have Mike Rogers from the Manhattan location and Adam Zickerman, the founder of Informed Fitness. This podcast is designed, created, and produced to help you supercharge your metabolism and to increase cardiovascular endurance, which will make you leaner and stronger. Just ask one of our founding members of Informed Nation, Suzanne, who feels that she's discovered the fountain of youth within the walls of the Toluca Lake Informed Fitness location.
I'm in my early 60s, and the workouts have made me feel a whole lot younger. I've been coming here for a few months, and I can already see the results, not just in having more energy, but I can see the results in muscle tone. Other people are like, wow, you look great, and that obviously makes you feel good, so you keep coming back. But I can see it. When I look in the mirror, I can see the muscle tone. And that's one thing I wanted to get from this workout, was not only to feel more healthy and more energetic, just to look better.
I'm glad that she's looking better. And aesthetics is obviously a very important thing to people, but what really resonated with me was when she said she felt younger. And then went on to say that she felt stronger, improved endurance, more energy. I think she used the word energy. And that is markers of youth.
In part of Suzanne's interview that you'll see in later videos that we produced for Informed Fitness, she does mention the fact that she did want to work out, she did want muscle tone, but she did not want to get that bulky, buffed look. Is that something that you hear from a lot of your female clients when they come in for an intake? Are they concerned about bulking up?
Every single one of them.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
Exactly. I was going to say the same thing. Unless they already have, a lot of experience working out, then they don't really ask that question. But most women think that they're going to, if they're building muscle, they're going to get bigger, and it's just not true.
When a female tells me they're afraid to bulk up, I say, you should want to bulk up. But I don't want to bulk up. I said, you do want to bulk up. She says, but I really don't want to bulk up. No, you do want to bulk up. We go back and forth, and right before she's about to walk out of my office, I finally come clean with her, and I say, listen, you have such little potential of getting bulky the way you're afraid of being bulky. But the reason I say you do want to bulk up, because whatever muscle you do put on your frame is just going to be a huge benefit to you, and it's not going to look bad, and you really need it. So let's hope that this will be too much for you, where you bulk up so much that you don't even like all your muscles. That's a good problem to have. We can just work out less at that point. But
very hard to achieve, especially for a woman. Yeah, it's like if you're going to be a bodybuilder.
It's hard for guys. For crying out loud.
It's hard for guys too.
Crying out loud.
Oh my gosh.
I'm one of those guys.
It's one thing that I want to make clear too is just they say, oh, I want to be toned. Well, toned is muscle. When you're toning up, that's what you're doing. You're building your muscle.
So what's the difference between toning and bodybuilding?
Genetics, that's the difference. I mean, the reason those women look the way they do is they have multiple genetic cards, not just one genetic card, but a combination of a bunch of genetic cards that just happen to go in that direction. It's rare. That's why it's so rare, because that's like a royal flush of genetics as opposed to a straight or three of a kind. It's not that hard to get three of a kind, but to get the kind of genetic combination like these women have, it's like a royal flush. So many different factors have to be pointed in that direction on a genetic level. The way your body stores fat, the way your body builds muscle, the tendon lengths of your muscles, the muscle belly sizes. the list actually goes on and on. Your levels of other kinds of hormones.
There's also a lot of supplement in bodybuilding, and especially competitive bodybuilding. There's a lot of supplementation and a lot of hormone supplementation, and it's actually very hard to do that naturally for a lot of the people who are involved in that.
Well, yes and no. Yes, absolutely, the steroids helps, but there are a lot of natural bodybuilder competitions, and those people that win those competitions, or even have the chutzpah to enter those competitions, are still already blessed, even without the drugs. And they are much different from your average Joe.
Yeah, it's a genetic predisposition, certainly.
And when we talk about genetics, it's also, how they react to the way you eat. I mean, we also like, it's diet, it's mostly diet. Well, a lot of it is diet for them. But even for them, when they go on a low-carb diet, it works beautifully for them. Whereas some people, they go on a low-carb diet, which is supposed to work for everybody. And I say low-carb loosely because I don't want to get into the whole, philosophies of fat loss. But, the paleo type of diet, which has been shown to really work well for a lot of people, it doesn't work well for everybody. And it works particularly well for bodybuilders, for example. I mean, it's just they have all the genetic cards, including how they metabolize glucose and sugar and all that stuff.
Well, what about, are the bodybuilders, are they working out and more than once a week and perhaps risking injury? Then that's how they're bulking up, is because they're lifting 3 times a week or 5 times a week?
No, not necessarily. They could actually be inhibiting some of their progress. But again, those kind of guys, they just have to look at a weight and start getting bigger. I mean, it almost doesn't matter what they do. As long as they do something, they're going to get big. And they are getting hurt by overtraining. A lot of them are getting hurt overtraining. And they don't necessarily have to do that. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm interviewing tomorrow a person that's going to be on one of our future podcasts, a fitness model who is essentially a bodybuilder. He has entered some competitions, but he's really on the cover of a lot of fitness magazines that you see without their shirts on, and completely ripped and huge. And he's going to be talking about how he just does this type of workout, and that the idea that bodybuilders have some kind of magical or special workout is a fallacy. And he's going to say, I look the way I look, not because I work out more or better. I look the way I look because I have these type of genetics.
All right, certainly looking forward to hearing that interview, which will appear in future podcasts here at the Inform Fitness Podcast, 20 Minutes with Adam Zickerman. Speaking of which, we're pretty close to that 20-minute mark. Any more thoughts that you'd like to add? Sheila, perhaps, being the lone female on the show in terms of bulking up?
I just wanted to say, I get this all the time, obviously, but one of the questions that we discuss in the certification Adam has on his questionnaire when we're practicing is, what do you do when a client says, I want to get Michelle Obama arms? And you're like, well, those are her arms. You can't get her arms. You're going to get the best version of your arms, because everybody's muscles are shaped differently, and everybody, my arms don't look the same as Anne, who's the other trainer in our studio, because our bodies are totally different. So, be the best you. And as Adam said, the muscle on your body is going to benefit you in so many ways. So bulk up, ladies.
Bulk up, ladies. It's a good thing. Again, we invite you to head over to informfitness.com to review the blog posts that we discussed today. Will women bulk up from weight training? And the answer is, of course, Adam mentioned earlier, and Sheila just alluded to it again. Yes, you want to bulk up. And I think we've answered those questions here today. In just about a minute, we have a question from another member of our Inform Nation family. Aiden in Thornton, Colorado, shot us an email and asks, how old is too old to participate with the slow-motion, high-intensity weight training system? Adam, Mike, and Sheila will give us their 2 cents on that in just about 60 seconds. But right now, I'd like to welcome a brand new sponsor to the Inform Fitness Podcast. It's Thrive Market. Wholesome products at wholesome prices. Thrive Market is an easy online shopping solution that will enable you to save some money while enjoying Inform Fitness-friendly products. If you read Adam's book, Power of 10, pay close attention to Chapter 3. It's all about the second of the 3 essential pillars necessary to supercharge your metabolism, burn fat, and build muscle. Of course, I'm talking about nutrition. You'll be surprised at the variety of food, health and body, and even baby and pet products available to keep you and your family healthy. You'll even be more surprised by the prices. Compare them for yourself at your local grocery store. I've been using several Thrive Market products for a few months now, and my wife and I love it. Try it for yourself. Visit thrivemarket.com to register for free. Then you can start your 30-day free trial. If you love the convenience, the service, and their products, then join us in the Thrive Market community. And it's only $59.95 to join. I saved way more than that in my first order. You can too. And I'm going to save you even more money. Email me directly at tim@inboundpodcasting.com, and I'll send you a promo code that will cut an additional 15% off your first order. Thrive Market is on a mission to make healthy living easy and affordable for everyone. All right, in just a few minutes, we'll get to that email from Aiden. But first, let's hear from longtime Inform Nation member Amir.
I started with Inform Fitness about 2 years ago, and I really love it. I mean, I actually live about an hour away, so I drive an hour to come here. Honestly, it's amazing to me that in 20, 30 minutes you can walk out of here and I can feel like some of the workouts I had where I was going for an hour. Here it's like I'm getting the benefits, but I'm not just completely wiped out. I feel it, but it feels good afterwards. It's like it feels right.
The thing I react to when I heard that, this is the very last thing you said, it feels right. I tell people that after a couple of workouts that they're not going to need me to sell them on this concept anymore, that they're going to intuitively realize, I get it. Their body's going to understand. They're just going to intuitively understand that this is what they should be doing. And that's what I felt when he said, just felt right. Like he just knew that the safety, the logic behind it, how they feel when they're done, the results later, it makes total, complete sense.
It does, and that's my favorite part of Amir's comment. Appreciate him participating in the program. He attends the Toluca Lake location where Sheila trains, and when he said it feels right, as somebody who's been training there for several months, that's exactly how I feel. I'm not wiped out after the workout, but I do feel like I did something really great for my body, and that lasts for several days to where I can't wait to get back in the gym the following Sunday. So, I think what he was comparing his workout that he's doing now or has been doing for the last 2 years at Inform Fitness with the workouts he's been doing before, years before, where he was there for an hour and it would just kill him. Well, he's getting that workout now in 20 minutes and consolidating his time in the gym. Now, let's focus on those individuals who may be interested in starting the Power of 10, but have never really participated in any type of exercise regime of any kind. For instance, we have Inform Nation member Aiden, who is in the Thornton, Colorado area, is concerned about his mother. It says, Adam, thanks for your podcast. I'm very interested in learning more about your Power of 10 and just ordered your book from Amazon. My mother is severely overweight and in her late 60s. I'm considering visiting your location in Boulder and want to take her with me to check it out. She says, though, that she's too old and fat for a workout as intense as yours. I look forward to hearing from you, Aiden. So here's a guy that's close to the Boulder location and wants to do it himself, but Aiden wants to bring his mom in because she's overweight and in her 60s. Is she too old to start this workout and possibly a little bit too overweight, Adam?
No.
Plain and simple.
Never too old.
Do you suggest perhaps that she should maybe see a doctor prior to beginning her workout?
Yes.
And that's it for today's episode. That's all. Is that a concern, do you think? Do you ever get that from people that think, I'm too big to do this? Severely obese people?
No, it is a concern, and the answer is that simple. Yes, you should check with your doctor, or I'd want to know if there's any health problems associated with being obese. Some people don't have a lot of other associated health problems, such as high blood pressure and things like that. It's actually amazing to me how many people can be pretty overweight and not have a lot of those dangerous markers. On the other hand, a lot of people do, and we have to get clearance if they do from a doctor to make sure that it's okay to do it. On the other hand, the intensity in of itself, because you're overweight or you're older, you build up the intensity to somebody that's severely out of shape. You're conservative at the beginning, but there's no reason why over time that somebody that hasn't been in shape and is overweight can't work out intensely.
Sheila, don't you have a client that came to you a few years ago who was severely overweight did this protocol on their own and had some tremendous success?
Well, I wouldn't say she was severely overweight. I would say she was, definitely would be considered obese. She was probably over 200 pounds and, just an average size girl. She was very active, though, musician, not active in sports or anything. She actually came into me. She hated going to the gym. She hated group classes. She literally was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this. And, I said, good, you're going to love this workout. And she was intrigued by that, by my answer and my, I was confident she would love this. So she went and tried it, and I did work out with her for several months. I showed her. She absolutely loved it. Actually, she did put a Yelp review several years ago when she started. She's continued to do the workout according to the book. She looks at the book. She goes to her gym, and she does it. She said everybody's looking at her and going, why is she going so slow? And she's been doing it.
And why is she holding that book in her hand?
Well, I think she took pictures of it with her phone, and so she could know what she's doing. She really attributes her continued weight loss and her sticking to the program. She would not be exercising if it wasn't for this workout.
Well, the woman of which we speak will be joining us in the next 2 episodes of the Inform Fitness podcast. Her name is Joni Pimentel. She's also a member of the LA-based band No Small Children. Sheila just gave us a quick overview of what Joni will be talking about, but Joni will go into great detail on how she shed about 118 pounds over the last 2 years with the Power of 10. If you're thinking about embarking on a weight loss journey, make sure you join us. I guarantee Joni will inspire you. Plus, we might even turn you on to a great new band. Check out NoSmallChildren.com to see their music videos, including the one filmed at Inform Fitness in Toluca Lake. If you'd like to participate in the conversation here on the podcast and officially join Inform Nation with a comment or a question, send us an email or record a voice memo on your phone and send it to podcast@informfitness.com. You can even do it the old-fashioned way by giving us a call at 888-983-5020, extension number 3. That's 888-983-5020, extension number 3. A few more reminders for you before we get out of here. If we've piqued your curiosity and you want to learn more about the Power of 10, click on the link in the show notes that will guide you to Adam's book. It's a nice, easy read with a simple nutrition plan and all the exercises you need to lose fat, build muscle, and supercharge your metabolism. If you want to try the workout for yourself with one of their many cool and certified trainers, bounce on over to informfitness.com to see if there is a location near you. And finally, please subscribe to the podcast here in iTunes. It's absolutely free to subscribe, and all it takes are a few simple clicks. We would greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for listening to the Inform Fitness Podcast. For Adam, Mike, and Sheila, I'm Tim Edwards with the Inbound Podcasting Network.